Tell me what's your story. I would like to know.
I'm gonna go ahead and cut to the spirituality because I know we've been talking about it throughout the interview. But how important is that spirituality, like in your life, especially when you're trying to get through something rough? Because I know for me, I grew up in the church, kind of fell away from the church, but I'm working my way back into getting myself right with God once again. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I like the journey, you know, like, and I can tell the difference of when I don't pray in the morning to when I pray in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It is a difference. Your
Yeah,
day
it
go
is.
different. Your mindset is different.
Yeah.
So how important is that spirituality and just that faith? I think I really want to say that faith, man. Like how important is that faith when you're really going through stuff? You know what I'm saying?
It's the foundation. It really is. You want to have a foundation that you can really build up on. Like without faith, I don't think I would have been able to mentally take on any of this seriously, because I wouldn't have believed in myself, believed in my family, believed in the people around me to be able to accept me for who I am as a different person now with everything that's going on. That was a huge one. Believe in
Yeah.
myself to be able to do the things that I was doing and even try to excel and do other things. You know, without the faith, it would be nowhere.
Were you worried about people treating you different?
You know, it's like it being embarrassed in the beginning because, you know, I'm like stuck to a walker and a wheelchair, and you know, I broke that whenever I got back from the rehab. The girls, she has a stepbrother that lives here,
Yeah.
her main brother, and then her cousin. All of them moved here from PA. So, and they're younger, so you know, they like to go out, and they're like, let's go to 810, and I was like, all right, we'll go to 810, and I got wheeled in a wheelchair while it was popping. It was the Super Bowl. So I'm going there in a wheelchair, and at that time I was like, you know what? I don't care what anybody thinks. Right? I got faith in myself, and then without me thinking of it, that moment I was able to stand up. I got myself up, and I stood up at the bar, and I stayed standing up at the bar. We put the wheelchair up, we folded it up, and put it up right beside us. So it's like in my head, without faith, I wouldn't have even thought to go out. Right? But I had a great night. We had a phenomenal night. Like, and we ended up getting a seat. We got some food. You know, I got a drink for the first time, and I only had one because I'm on medication.
Yeah.
But one was enough. Yeah, I drank it the whole night. It was great. You know? But I wouldn't have went out if I didn't have faith. I would have been stuck at the house in the same mentality, like, oh, you know, sorry me. But you know, yes, we all have that sorry me mentality. But how can we grow?
But you stay there. Don't get stuck there.
Yeah,
because it's a dark place, and just not to cut you off, but even like when you said the medication, because I'm a believer of that too. I don't really like to take medication, bro. Like I don't have to take medication for anything, but when I am sick or I'm feeling down, I don't really like to take medicine.
That's not your first, go-to.
Yeah, no. Sure. I do everything natural. I'll drink the tea. Yeah. You know, I drink tea. Yeah. I do everything like I got to be in crazy amount of pain to even think about taking a pill or something, because that's just how I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I do honestly believe in your story that actually really helped you, bro, because they help, but I feel like sometimes I honestly don't know if they help more than they hurt, bro.
Yeah. See the full picture.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro.
Yeah, we're clouded. The best way I could say it is the people that I met, because I met a lot of people in the hospital being there, and some younger. It's clouding your perspective. So we don't even know that, okay, this pill that we're taking out of like 5 pills, this one and this one is affecting this, and this. That's making you have to take these other pills. So you're realizing, holy crap, like we're a whole world of just symptom relief, but we're not fighting the root cause. And everybody talks about that. Yeah, that's the story. But you know, as people, we have to say no to these medications. We have to say, hey, try the herbal way. You know, my family, they drink tea. They always did that, right? That helps. There's so many teas that could help. You know, I mean, I remember as a kid, when I would get sick, I was scared to tell my mom because she would be boiling up some weird stuff in the pot, bro. I knew she would ask me to drink it. Some weird stuff, and it would taste horrible. And if you drank it, I swear to God, you'd feel better. Happened every time, you know, like leaves, herbs, like certain types of sticks, you know, whatever it is, like it's crazy. The answer is in the world. It's in nature, right?
Yeah.
We got the answer, but we just gone so far away from it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
But you have to rely on that in the beginning. That's what I had to. So there's like a tinkering area between like, don't have too much ego and think you can do it all on your own. Like you're saying, you still need a little bit of help. So like to even be able to work at all and like walk at all, I have to take some nerve medication.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to wean off that because, even with that, the nerve medication, that's like, I don't want to be long-term with that,
Yeah.
but I am going to take it if I know I have to do things throughout the day. If I have to walk, like just walking up and down the stairs is a lot,
Yeah.
So I have to have that balance where I'm like, all right, I'm not going to overdo it on pain medication, but if I need to take some small like nerve medication, I will, and that won't affect too much. There's not many side effects. I'm trying to go with the least amount of side effects for the things that I do want to accept into my body now that I have a choice.
Yeah. Facts. That's the most important, because I always laugh at the commercials, bro. They be like, "Oh, take this, you'll feel great." Side effects: nausea, heartburn, diarrhea, constipation.
Quick.
They say it real quick, so it's like, they try to bypass it, bro. Yeah, bro.
That's all I saw at the hospital too. I swear, I'm watching TV, and it would be like I felt like they were targeting me. They were. Shoot, is that my phone?
Oh yeah. Oh, I didn't even know your phone was over here. Oh, you good, brother? You good, bro?
I felt like they were targeting me.
Yeah.
They really were just like, yo, if you have bowel and bladder issues, take this. And at the very end, could cause stroke, heart attack, and even death. Consult your doctor. I'm like, what the? Like, you're telling me this is supposed to help me and it can kill me? Like, that's not right, bro.
Yeah.
That is not right.
Nah, that's crazy. Nah, but like, what I love about your story, bro, you talk about your spirituality, you talk about that mental toughness that you had mental toughness before, but you had even pushed it to another limit. The doctor said you weren't going to be able to walk. When I pulled up, you greeted me outside walking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is a testament, bro. Like, for real, bro. It's crazy. I don't normally say this, but I really, like, my hair is standing up over here, low-key.
Bro, I appreciate it, man.
That's a testament, bro.
We're trying every day. That's it.
I'm
just not, like I was saying, I saw that get printed in my story, and I said, nah, I need to change it. I don't want to be this person. I need to be able to at least move a little bit,
Yeah.
Every day, mentally, I'm getting this leg to wake back up.
Yeah.
So anybody listening, that's like what I would want them to know is like what the doctors are telling you is not the end, right? Mm-hmm. You have the power within you to change and make a decision, but it has to happen then. When you get to the point where the doctor tells you that this is the time to change right now, there's no other time, right? You got to make it happen when it counts. And that was it. Like just telling myself I'm going to be able to move, trying to move my leg, going through embarrassing situations. I mean, it was very embarrassing, not being able to use the bathroom was crazy. You talk about a humbling experience being a young male. You can't use the bathroom. You're relying on nurses to help you use the bathroom. That was wild. I'm over here being humbled every single day with new experiences, with new people coming in to help me. I know that
takes a toll on your mental like crazy.
It really does, bro. It really does. I feel so different because of it. I feel more connected with people because of it, because there was a lot of younger people at MUSC. It wasn't older people. And I realized that because of the college, there was a lot of young people there. So I'm thankful for that because I met the most amazing nurses, man. Like they made me feel like I was a human being and not just another one of their patients that they would just do the bare minimum and leave. These people would like ask me if I was okay. Yeah. They would vent with me. They talked to me. If I broke down, I broke down with them, and I didn't feel alone whenever the family was gone. And that's huge.
That's how you can tell those. Shout out to MUSC and the people that dealt with you. That's how you can tell those people they're fulfilling their purpose. It's not just a job.
True.
It's not just a paycheck.
True.
They enjoy what they do, and they love helping people.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to them for real, because a lot of nurses don't care.
I was telling the family,
trust me, a lot don't care.
Cookies. I was telling them bring cookies, bring snacks, please, because these people deserve it.
Yeah,
they're busting their ass over here. I mean, that little call button on your bed, right? Like I know how many times I had to hit that had to be annoying, but to come in the room with the same kind of love and energy, right? Even after you just wipe old dude's ass and you got to come over here and deal with me, right? Yeah, that takes a special kind of person to be able to do that.
Yeah,
and I learned that the aides, they don't even make as much as I thought they were. So I'm thinking the grunt of a lot of the work was the aides, not the nurses. They need more money. One of the girls told me like she had to get another job and her boyfriend had to do the same, and they had to, move out to like a badder area because Charleston's super expensive. They're pushing everybody out. Mm-hmm. It's pushing people far, far away. And it's people that work at the hospital that are affected still too. You're taking care of people and you don't have enough money to take care of yourself, so you can even be near the hospital to work, and get to work.
Because if anybody know MUSC, is right in downtown in that congested area.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, shout out to them. We're pretty much towards the end, really the end. If you got anything else positive, you dropped a lot of gems, but anything else positive, motivating that you feel like that can help others, just go ahead and say it into the camera, man.
Okay. Well, I feel like for everybody here in Myrtle Beach, I think it's important to know that, you know, there's more to it than just Myrtle Beach. And, you know, aspire higher. That's just the biggest thing I could say. You know, have faith and aspire higher. Know that you could do more than what you're doing at any time. You know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that wraps up another episode of What's Your Story?
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Shit, man.
Tell me what's your story. I would like to know.